Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. The purpose of my content is to help you realize that it's possible to reach financial independence in less than 10 years, even if you're not starting from the best position. And the thing that's entertaining to me is there's no one right way to do this, but there is a one right way for you. So I try to share how I got here. And today I'm going to have a friend come on and share how she got here so that you can take some of the elements of what she's used and some of the elements of what I've used and put it together to come up with what works for you. So today we have Tiffany Thomas, who has a YouTube channel, and you should check it out because I actually watch it, and it's something I'm trying to use to get my daughters involved in real estate. And someday they will buy their first rental property. But not today. And when they get there, it's going to be from learning from Tiffany, whose YouTube channel is Tiffany Thomas, Your Wealth Mentor. Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for taking the time to come on here and share with us today.
Yeah. Hi, Dion. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Can you tell me, like the chronology? How did you get to financial freedom?
Yeah. So it began quite a while ago, and I didn't realize I was on the path to financial freedom. But I bought my first property back in 2005. And I started house hacking. So I had two roommates living with me. And I was doing that for actually 10 years. And then I realized, you know what? I really need to invest more in real estate. I have a really good friend who is very successful with real estate. He has multiple properties. And I was asking him a lot of questions about real estate. And I also had a previous boss who was successful with real estate as well. So I was talking to him a lot and just asking a lot of questions and doing research. And I kept thinking, you know what? I have all this money just sitting in a savings account. I was really good at saving my money and not so much investing my money. But I started to turn that around as I started to see success with my friend and my boss and other people. And so I ended up purchasing my first rental property in 2015. It was just a small property, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. I didn't want to feel like overwhelmed with rental properties. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start small. And so that's what I did. And that was successful. So I ended up buying another property the next year. And that one I moved into and had roommates there and left my roommates in my old property and replaced myself there. So I was renting that one out. So I had 3 properties total. And then at that time, I started doing research about how much I would need to retire. And I remember having conversations with one of my coworkers. She's a really good friend as well. But we were just sitting in the lunchroom and we were talking about retiring and thinking, are we ever going to be able to retire? Like we had no idea how much it would take. And so I started doing research about this. And that's kind of when I started my business, just helping people be better with their money, because I had started investing my money, right? And I thought, I need people to do this. They can't just be saving their money or spending all of their money. And so I found the FIRE movement, the Financial Independence Retire Early movement. And I was like, what? People are becoming financially free at young ages, like in their 30s, 40s, some even in their 20s. And I was just thinking, that is crazy. How are they doing this? So I was doing more research about that and, found out that a lot of them were doing real estate investing and some of them weren't, of course, but one of them that I found was Paula Pant with affordanything.com. And she is great. Like she has so many good things about real estate investing. But yeah, after kind of seeing people retiring early, I was crunching the numbers and I used the formula, taking your annual expenses and multiplying it by 25, the 4% rule. I'm sure you've talked about that. But I was like, whoa, I have a number now that I can work towards. And I realized with my investments that I had already and the cash flow that I had from my rental income or my rental properties, and then the income I was receiving from my roommates, that if I bought just one more property, I could hit financial freedom. And that kind of blew my mind. So I didn't even realize I was that close. And so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up purchasing a 4th property and renting that out. And then, hitting financial freedom by doing that. So that's kind of my journey in a nutshell.
No, that's beautiful. So how many properties in your portfolio now?
So there are actually 3. I sold a property last year. I sold the property that I was living in. And one of the reasons I did that was because it had an HOA, a homeowners association, with it. And they didn't allow for rentals. I could have roommates, but I couldn't move out myself and rent it. And I knew that going in, but it still felt like a good investment to purchase the property when I did. And so, I tried to change the HOA rules and get on the board and things like that, but nothing was really working. And so with housing prices, skyrocketing, and then there were a few other things that fell into place. I was like, you know what, I should sell this property now. So I just sold it last year and then moved into one of my rental properties.
What's awesome about that, and this is what I'm hoping people hear, it didn't take 100 units. It didn't take 50 deals a year, right? You were able to reach financial freedom and so Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time talks about getting to 4 properties. It's life-changing. But if you're doing the roommate thing, 3 can do that. And I know the questions are going to come up. So we'll cover a little bit outside of real estate. What were you doing for work when you first got started in buying your first property?
My first property, I was working for an international shipping company. So I was in their documentation department for a while and then their export department. So they paid, pretty well for what I was doing. I had a degree in marketing. I have a degree in marketing, but I wasn't doing marketing for them. A decent job. I wasn't making 6 figures. Like, it wasn't a high paying job. I just was saving and building up my wealth. I wasn't spending everything that I was making.
Right. And my first probably 5 years of investing, I never came close to making 6 figures. And that's what I'm hoping that people see is you don't have to make a ton of money. It doesn't take 100 units, 500 units, 1,000 units. We hear about, people in their 20s that have 8,000 units. I'm like, hey, congratulations. But it took me, I'm at 7 properties, and over 10 years, I've invested about $330,000 of my own money that I've saved and invested. The cash flow is 6 figures. And you referenced the Trinity study, and the really quick Cliff Notes version for people is if you invest 25 times your annual expenses, you'll be able to withdraw 4% to live on. So if you need $100,000 a year to live on, you need to have invested $2.5 million or invest $330,000 into real estate over 10 years and have this year the profit's about $168,000. Significantly less invested, significantly more cash flow. It's a little more hands-on. You're managing tenants, you're finding leases, you have the roommate situation where you probably have to deal with different personalities. What do you see you doing in the future with real estate in like what we have now with super high prices and interest rates continuing to go up?
So for right now, I've actually paid off 2 of my properties. And so I just have 1 mortgage left. And I think I might just pay that mortgage off and then build up my wealth and probably invest in real estate later. And we'll kind of see what happens with the market, right? We're not really sure. Things are starting to slow down. That's kind of where I'm at. And the reason I'm doing that, it's just since I'm at financial freedom, I get to choose what I want to do, right? So if I don't want to be managing more people and more properties, then I don't have to do that. And if I want to, I can. So just with that flexibility, I think it would be just, for me, it would be nice to just say I'm completely debt free, like all my mortgages are paid off, and then I could build wealth from there. I might change my mind depending on how the market goes, but for now, that's the plan.
I've confused a few people. I have 2 friends that have, one is coming up on 200 units and one has 121. And so their mind is recycle capital, take out home equity lines of credit, sell properties to 1031. You just grow this machine of real estate. And I have 7 with 16 units. I might sell 1 and pay off a couple of mortgages and just increase the cash flow, reduce the number of tenants to take care of and properties to maintain. Financial freedom was the goal, not grow the biggest, fastest machine possible to, invest more in real estate. So I really like that. If anybody leaves a comment below and lets me know how many years you think it's going to take you to reach financial freedom. If you're familiar with my channel, I will use the dice to figure out who wins. But Tiffany has an ebook called Financial Freedom for Females, and I will select a winner. I will be buying the book for you. Let me know in the comments below how many years you think it's going to take for you to reach financial freedom, because for me, financial independence happened in about 8 years. I worked for 4 more and then retired a little over a month ago. So I just had my 1-month anniversary of retirement. How long did it take you, Tiffany, to go from Like everyone else, you have a job and you're wondering if you're ever going to retire until you make a few decisions, and now work is completely optional.
Yeah, it didn't take that long from when I had that realization that I could do that. So I actually quit my full-time job at the beginning of 2017, and I haven't gone back to work since. So even quitting then, thank you. It is exciting, and it was nerve-wracking at the time, of course. But yeah, just kind of having that realization that, oh, I have enough cash flow coming in that I don't actually need a 9 to 5 job. And yeah, before I had realized that. So in 2017, when I quit my job, things just weren't great at work. They were for a long time. And I didn't mention this, but so I worked for the shipping company. And then they closed their office in 2009 when everything was, happening. So I was looking for a new job for a few months and found a job at a food storage company. Think like freeze dried foods or bulk items, not like food storage containers or anything. But I found a marketing job there. And so I started working there, and that decreased my income significantly because I didn't have any experience in marketing, but that's what I wanted to get into. And things were terrible in 2009. The job market was awful. Anyway, so I switched careers that way. And then I stayed there for quite a while. And then just toward the end, they had made some changes and I wasn't happy. And so I had already started my business, and I thought, you know what, I have investments. I already have cash flow coming in from rental income. And then, I had some money in the stock market, and then I had savings. And so I ended up quitting my job and then working on my business. And then, after doing all of that research and figuring out that, oh, I can actually retire early. I didn't even know it. So then I purchased that last property, and that gave me enough cash flow to have financial freedom, to realize that. So it was and I bought that property in 2018. So it was a very short time in regards to me realizing that I could be financially free. So I don't know how many years really. Sorry.
No, that's okay. From 2009 to 2018. So less than 10 years. Completely changed your life. That's really awesome. It's funny how much our stories kind of line up right up to the last point. 2008, I was a police officer, and the recession hit and law enforcement agencies shrunk. So I got laid off at the same time as a bunch of qualified officers. Went to driving a truck because I had a CDL, doubled my income. Thought, this is great. That company went on strike. So 2009, same thing. I started teaching at a truck driving school, making $17 an hour. I was a single parent with 3 kids who are older and they've moved out now. I found out about a lot of debt during the divorce that I didn't know existed. So I was just in this 2009 sucked for both of us. But by 2018, both of us could walk away from our jobs. I loved my job. I got demoted all the way down to president of the truck driving school and was making good money. Loved the job. Worked there for the last 4 years and didn't need to, and had a great day, like the best day at work. And I thought, I'm at the top of my game. I quit. And a month ago, I turned in and I said, that's it. I'm retired now. I didn't expect it either. Choices are awesome when you have the choice to do that, because you never know what you're going to feel like in a year or two. I'm sorry. I guarantee people are going to have questions. What's the easiest way to find you, to reach out and get those questions answered?
They can go straight to my YouTube channel, Tiffany Thomas, Your Wealth Mentor, and comment on there. I'm also active on Instagram too. User name is Wealthy Tiffany.
Awesome. And I will have links to the YouTube channel in the comments below. I can't thank you enough for coming on here and sharing this and showing people that it doesn't take making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or having dozens and dozens of units to reach financial freedom. Your story is one I'm hoping to share, and I'm looking forward. I know you have another book coming out yet. I don't want to give too many teasers. We're probably a couple of months away, but I'm excited to see that. So
thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Awesome. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.